Come explore ancient wisdoms and groundbreaking practices. We'll travel the world, do wacky experiments, and have delightful guests. I'll lead you in deep meditations, all to give you the takeaways so you can live energized, enlivened, and empowered. I'm Dr. David, and this is Aliveness Now. This episode's about the water, rocks, and banks of your River of Ahz. Welcome to Aliveness Now. I'm Dr. David Breitbach, and we discuss everything aliveness. My favorite topic is up this week, rivers. My last name, Breitbach, in German, is a wide stream, a wide river. Yeah. So we each have a river that runs through us. Some, it's just a trickle, but it keeps you alive. Others, and what we want to help create, what is what I called a River of Ahz, meaning is that expression in all languages when we feel satisfaction, fulfillment, flow, enjoyment. It's actually the feeling we get when each one of our springs flows, right? We're going to get into all that. But the first idea here is the this the feeling of feeling alive in the moment in at least part of us. In that relationship that we are inside, the ethereal and physical relationship comes together and they relate in a way that helps you feel that feeling of flow and aliveness, feeling energized, empowered, enlivened, the feelings that we associate with aliveness. So this river that flows through, you can feel it. So my background, neuroscience, psychobiology, I learned at one point, they told me, now, you know everything there is known about the nervous system, the brain, physiology. And my mouth went, what? That's it? That's all we know? So I've come to find that to help others come alive, I can enjoy the science, but it won't be able to help me experience aliveness because they don't know what it is. So we're going to use a metaphor, an experiential metaphor. I want my metaphors to be really fun and interesting, but they need to be experiential. I need to be able to feel it, to feel this river run through me. Yeah, a friend of mine in school, he meditated to try to feel a flow up and down his body. He was at it for months. He didn't feel anything. But that started my search to understand this idea of what is this that flows in us. Now, within a visit or two in my office or at my retreats, they start feeling the flow. I can find the flow with a breath and a relaxation and an attention. That's why we've begun a lot of our sessions with how to get present so you can actually sense what's going on inside you. If it's too loud and busy in your brain, you're not going to notice anything. You all think about the future, the past. But in this moment, there's enough silence in that mental part of you that you can feel and experience you. Last episode, we talked about the now, me, and we. It's because the now you need to get to the presence so you can experience you, the me. So, is that expression. You'll know you're on the right track. In this sense here, in this chakra, this love spring, when it's flowing and filling the river, your river with its flow, you have the intuition or innate knowing. Here, the is expression. It feels so good to express fully, not just verbally, or just physically, but they combine and say, here I am. I'm fully in expressing you and me. I understand you. I'm helping you understand me. There's an there. And then here in this heart chakra, feeling inspired by this moment in love with the moment, there's an ah. So I call the River of Ahz when it's flowing. That's what we want to create here. That's what creates the experience of aliveness, not just in your, observation of self, but in your health and how you relate to others and how others see you. Sometimes we don't know we're changing, but it seems like everybody else is. That's a good sign. They're seeing you differently. You're relating to them differently. That's when the river flows. Here, you get the ah of empowerment. When you're empowered and they're empowered. Cool. And the ah of knowing who I am, what my path is. Wow, that's good. So, ah is one. The next step, we're going to look at each section of the river and how that part of the river or that aspect of the river plays into this metaphor. Because you got the water in the river, you have banks in a bed, you've got flow, you got rocks in that river a lot of times. We're going to look at each one of these parts of the river and how they can help you develop aliveness in your life, how to make it a more often experience of feeling a flow that's not just a trickle, but it's a deep, strong river. So we're going to fly around the world, but luckily, if you saw the last episode, you see I got a spaceship now. So it helps me go much faster because this episode, we're going all over. We're going to be visiting rivers and rocks all over the world to see how to help create aliveness in your River of Ahz. So let's first look at the state of a river. How is it? What's it like in this moment? It's good to be able to observe and get some metaphors for how our river can feel. One, it can be flowing. There are times our river looks like this. Hopefully not for you, but for some people, brackish, filled with dead wood. It can be filled with rocks, dark and forbidding, bright and sunny. It can be frozen over. All it's good for is skating. For more about how the state of your river influences how you experience life, let's go on location all the way over to the Rhine River in Germany. Here's the great Rhine River. Even a great river, deep and wide, has its foggy days. But trust, that sun's going to come out and clear this fog. And its banks and its waters will be lit up once again. Make yourself a great river. Get through the fog when you have it. And you know the light within you, the sun, your immensity of purpose and mission will shine through once again. Yeah, it's a little gooey, the bottom of this river. Whoa, it's kind of gooey, muddy, slimy. Not a clean river. So it's not a river I'd play in, not a healthy companion to be around. Wow. The state of your river may be one of joy and excitement, and it can be one of sadness or loss. Wherever we are, whatever the state of our river is, the catalyst that can help you flow through it and create a movement ahead to a more alive river is empathy. So here's Dr. Chakra-Chakra to talk to you a little bit about empathy.
Teach us, show us, Dr. Chakra-Chakra, Dr. Chakra-Chakra.
Welcome back to my lab where I study everything relationship and especially catalysts. Well, today you can see I'm measuring the difference between being a bear and a turtle. So, is it better to plod along in your relationships or be wild and crazy and free? They're equal. You get to be both. That's what I'm finding. And then here, you can see we're studying the effect of midnight music and combining with a cute little turtle and gold. And we're getting something really delicious looking, very nice. And over here, I'm keeping this relationship really full because you just go there a little bit and stuff starts coming out. It's so great to keep that relationship fulfilling that commitment because just a little extra and it's all over. It's like, it's really good. It just could come on like that. So easy to get extra energy. And the catalyst then for today is like, I think, the master catalyst. It combines the first three. It's called empathy. It's a combination of focus and choice and acknowledgement. You choose to acknowledge and focus with them where they are, what they're feeling. So they say like empathy is feeling the feeling they're feeling with them. Okay, so if someone's sad, you go, wow, you're sad. Yeah, it works a lot better than going, hey, be happy, idiot. That doesn't work. So when someone's sad, you go up and you feel with them. But you can never really feel exactly what they're feeling. But you know the feeling. You know that human being feeling of sadness. So you can sing it with them. Empathy is singing the note, sing the song, sing that song with them for just a little bit. It's the harmony that happens that changes both of you. So when you harmonize, it feels so good. And it's a master catalyst because you're bonded and you're connected to them now. And they find that they can come back to what's real. It's in the moment. There's someone here with me, listening to who I am and being there for me, knowing I'm a human being too. That feels so good. So, empathy, sing the song with them, be present with people, relate deeply, and you get lots of energy. I'm Dr. Chakra-Chakra. See you next time. Thank you, Dr. Chakra-Chakra. So yeah, empathy, it's what helps your springs flow. It gets things relating within you. And remember, you are that ethereal, physical relationship that plays out in each of your love springs, each of your chakras. As we've talked, it's the ethereal, physical component of each that when they relate, it's alive in that area. That is what gives the flow, or at least the volume, to a river. When the springs are flowing, there's water in the river. When the springs aren't flowing, you just got barely a trickle. Here we are in front of a gushing spring, flowing right out of the side of the mountain, starting a new river, or adding to the rivers that already exist. The power and the delight and the fresh water of this spring create a life of aliveness and a beautiful, amazing experience of this moment. Being in this glen with this gorgeous spring, I feel alive. And here is a spring that used to gush and create a whole creek running across our land. But it is now just seeping. It is covered with roots. Not much comes from this spring. Creates just a small wet track down to a small unused pond, nearly silted in, and makes it no further. It no longer runs to the Seas Branch, or to the Kickapoo, or on to the Wisconsin River and out through the Mississippi to the sea. It is just a dribbling spring that creates a little bit of life, but nothing that I would call the experience of aliveness. I suppose when it rains, there's more flow. But we don't want to have to wait for a thunderstorm for our life to feel alive. We don't want to have to wait just for the rains of spring to feel good about who we are. The stream or tributary with only that much flow will not enliven you or your life. Others will notice. They'll know that part of you isn't flowing. They'll know that there's not the aliveness there of what could be. Luckily, it's enough to keep you alive, but it's not the exciting, deep, energizing, enlivening, empowering flow that you could have. So, working to get your springs, your love springs, each one flowing, creates and fills that river. Gives you some water to work with, creates the depth of your river. But since you are that relationship between ethereal and physical, you are the water. That's the element of the river that you actually are. Your water, this ethereal physical relationship. Water has the ethereal nature. It has a physical nature. It has a substance, but it also can be in the air. It's the relationship between physical and ethereal, even in the natural world. It sounds like Dr. Chakra-Chakra has more to say. Now, he heard me talking about water, he gets excited about stuff. So let's see what he has to say. Here you go. Whoa, yeah, I'm doing some great experiments with water. Water is amazing. Water, you drink it, but it's also who you are. You got all this water in you, like 99%, 98%, something like that. That's you, your water. And, it's going to be so fun. I'm going to show you these experiments. It's so cool. It shows the different ways water, can help us and be with us. But I also remembered, earlier we talked about empathy. And empathy, it's kind of like that person who's feeling something is stuck in a puddle of water, but a puddle of their feeling. Yeah. So, by you feeling it with them, you go into the puddle, and it's a puddle. You're not going to drown in it. They think they're drowning in that feeling, in that puddle. But you go in with them in their water and help harmonize it so they know they can come out and get out of the puddle of all feeling. Be done with it. Right? And don't forget, there's that compassion type of empathy. But there's also celebration empathy. If they're feeling great, can you harmonize with that? Can you sing that song and go, whoa, I'm so glad you're feeling amazing. I love it. When I get excited and they get excited with me. It's so fun. Are you excited? I like it. Yeah, I can feel it. You guys are all excited with me. And whoa, it feels so good. We're harmonizing in celebration empathy. Ooh. Well, let me show you these experiments here. This one. Well, water has, it's both ethereal, like light, it's like, rainbows and stuff. And it's solid too. You fall on some water from a long ways up and it don't feel so good. And you can swim in it and ski on it and have all sorts of fun with water. Yeah, and you're that way. You got all those, you're ethereal and you're physical. So let's look at the ethereal part. So again, we got a catalyst here. Here's just plain old water. And we're going to put this catalyst in the water and you'll see. What are you going to see? What are you going to see? Oh, that catalyst brings out the light. That's what's in water. Look how much light's in that water. It just shows how much light is just able to be in just water. Yeah, so that water's got all sorts of light come from it. That's you. You got light in that part of you. That's the water of your river, right? You're talking about rivers today? Ha! I love rivers. But I like catalysts even more because they make the rivers go light and white and all sorts of colors come in them. You know, it's so cool. Makes up rainbows. But this is a cool one, huh? Yeah, just a little catalyst. You got all sorts of light coming out of your water. Wow, you know, this one over here, I think I gotta get it set up so you can see this one over here a little better. Okay, be with you in a second. Okay, just a second. Gloves. Ha! I had to put my gloves on. This is a wild one. This is where the physical part of water just erupts out of this glass. So, you know, it's pure water right there, you see. And we're just gonna put this bit of catalyst in there, right? And we can see what happens, you know. Oh. Let's see what happens. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Ha! Celebration, empathy. It's growing. Whoa. Look at all that potential physical, divine nature in the water. Here, look at it go. Ha! Whoa. Can you see it? Yeah, it's just flowing out of there. Physical, look. Boop. It's physical now. Oh, that's what's inside water. The physical divine. And you saw the ethereal divine. That's water. Water has both. You know, it's all that goes into the earth, comes back out in springs. Yes. And moist earth. That's kind of solid water. But the snow. Ooh, I love snow. Hopefully, hey, Dr. David, can you show them some pictures of snow? I love snow. Look at that go. It's still flowing. More and more. That makes an overflowing relationship. Lots of extra energy coming to that physical side there. Oh. Thank you, Dr. Chakra-Chakra. That's perfect. That celebration helps us experience the sparkle in our water, the ah. And there's, you know, the compassion, we need that too. That's how we come from our heart into celebration, into compassion for those around us and for ourselves. That's the flow of this river it's not just individual springs, it's the flow between the springs. That creates the river. As you find your heart, as you flow through your heart, you come into that celebration or that compassion. It leads you into expression. It leads you into empowerment. That's the flow of that river as it moves between and through the chakras. It's still glowing. Still all that light coming out of that water. It's still glowing. It's still flowing with solid water. Ah! Let's go to a break. My show, Aliveness Now, is Transformation Talk TV's surprisingly quirky variety show. It has a companion app called Love Springs. Love Springs is a step-by-step journey, taking you deeper and deeper into the concepts of each episode. There's secret knowledge, groundbreaking practices, and fun quizzes. Find Love Springs at your favorite app store or visit createaliveness.com. Water is also the magic, right? The magic of your river is the water itself. If the river had no water, it's not very magical. It's then just a gully or a canyon with nothing in it. That's maybe beautiful and interesting to look at all the skeletons down there. But the experience of the magic is in the water, the sparkle, that light and the physicality. And here, that physical part, let's look at some scenes for the physical side of water, whether it's snow or ice, can be enlivening and fun. Flow, the sledding, the skating, the ski jumping, and then the ethereal part of the water, the reflections, those rainbows. The rains and the mists and the flow of the return of the water to the earth. It evaporates up, comes back down, goes into the earth and back up through the springs. The water creates and is part of this whole process of being alive. Let's check in with Mini Dr. David. What's it mean our travel budget's depleted? What do you mean? You want me to do what? Oh my. Oh, I'm getting lots of water. Whoa. Ooh, deep in the water here. Oh, hello. Oh, very quiet down here. Sometimes we use the ethereal part of our water as a defense, putting ourselves in a bubble, trying to live in a bubble. But you need all of your water, all aspects, the physical and the ethereal nature. And we consider water as a spiritual conveyance. We baptize, we bless, we drink waters to bring that vibration to our souls. But a river isn't just its water. It'd be just one big puddle of water if it didn't have banks and a bed. So let's talk about the banks and the bed of your river. Well, you can see here the banks of a river can be magnificent. It can be marsh. It can be a wild woods. It can be smooth and sandy. Well, these banks are kind of smooth. Wow. Smoothing along, going along. Let's go not far from here, over to the mighty Mississippi to discuss a little more about banks. Even when you're traveling out in the middle of what seems like nowhere, sometimes you run across a friend. She's brought me to her house right on the Mississippi. So I have a chance to touch it, to feel this strong river. The width and the depth and the flow is tremendous. It's a beautiful sensation to feel this great river flow by. It's gorgeous. At this point, it's many miles wide. What you see over there is it's an island. So sometimes our river is really wide, but we have islands sometimes that makes us think that defines us. But the islands do not define the Mississippi. They're in the Mississippi. They're things that it's having to go around and avoid, and creates brackish water and sometimes. But it can be fun to swim across, go up on the beach. In your river, you want definition. You want your banks to define who you are, your bed to contain you. The stuff in the middle of the river, let's turn into new wisdom, to churn it up, create better and more amazing banks that define who you are in this life. Become who you are. Don't let the islands in the middle confuse you to think you're somebody you're not, because you aren't those islands. You are an ethereal physical relationship, divine, making love to divine. Don't be an island. Be a river. Flow to your wholeness. Flow as a whole being, as a whole river of life. The aliveness that it brings will inspire you and everyone around you. It's a delight to be who you are. Let it be a delight. Don't rigidify your river, whether it's ice or islands. Don't let it get hard. Aliveness requires flexibility and flow and breath and movement. Have a good one. Enjoy your river. Thanks. Great. I gotta touch the river. Okay, here we go. Ah. Oh, that is good. The Mississippi, the flow, this deep river, you can feel the depth by touching the water. You can feel its strength. Thanks. What's on the edge of your rivers? What makes up the banks of your river? Is it marshland, soggy, mushy, before you get to the solid mountains? But even the marsh supports life. Different parts of a river will support life in different ways. At times the marshland, at times the mountain, at times the granite cliff face. How do we interact with the banks of our river? Are we able to catch fish? Are we able to engage with that which life brings us? Is it smooth and flowing, or is it perilous and rocky, craggy, ouchy life? Remake your banks. Create new wisdom. It's up to you. How do you want to interact with each part of your life? Each part of your life that's connected intimately into your river. You can remake those banks. Help them become a flow with new wisdom, with empathy, and with kindness and awareness of how you interact with the life around you. It's the upper Mississippi River. Beautiful, wide, filled with islands and dams, but a mecca for transportation. Trains come by, trucks carrying grain down to the coast, interfering with videos. Long, loud trains come by when you try to do something with the video. Wow. What trains, what busyness, what loudness is along your banks? What busyness in your life keeps your banks from being a peaceful respite in your life? What's so loud in your life that you can't talk about what's happening for you or your partner? What keeps your life from having the joy and peace and serenity that's necessary for a great relationship with yourself? Hey, busyness is fun sometimes. It's great to take what you've created and take it downriver. Yeah, there's a flow that can take what you've created downriver. But it doesn't need to be so loud. You get to have the enlightenment flow through you so that it shows to everyone who you are and what you have to offer. It doesn't need to be a train. It keeps going. Is it never ending? Or does it finally have a caboose? Or no caboose in this case? Allow that to pass by. Sometimes in life will be that way. The train has to come through. The flow has to happen. Sometimes it just flushes things down your river. But here at the mighty Mississippi, there's also tranquility in between the rush. Find the peace, the depth, and the flow. Happy rivering. Enjoy your river. Let your life flow into peace and joy. The banks of your river are your defining wisdoms. They've come to you from your ancestors, your past soul life and culture. They help define you, to help contain and direct your water. There is no river without the banks. It gives you a bed of what gives you solid understanding what it's like to be a human being on this earth. Our banks can also be a bit confusing because we may expect one thing and then something else shows. Strange. So yeah, there might be islands in the middle of your river that confuse you to think that they are your banks and that's who you are, but they don't contain you. They disrupt your flow. Islands, rocks, dams. Let's go to one of our favorite places, Necropolis of Pantalica, to talk a little more about rocks in your river. Here's some rocks in a river. They're blocking the flow. That big one has been here a while. It has moss and all sorts of ferns growing on it. What in your river has moss growing on it, has been there that long? You think it's just part of the natural landscape. And you think it'll always be there. It's soft, looks nice, but it's impeding your flow. You may be so used to it. It's time to look at that rock, turn it into wisdom. Don't keep reacting the same way over and over because you flow around the same rock. It's time. The stream must pass through all these barriers, getting fine little rivulets. It makes a beautiful noise, but it's not free, clear, and wild. It's not deep and strong. And the rocks in the river, process them, come on, do it. And these rocks have assembled themselves into a turtle. Where in your river have you become a turtle? Do you go too slow? Do you try to carry your house on your back? Huh, he's moving so slow. Look at the rocks in the middle of the river. Ouch. Oh, ow. Those rocks were not easy. Oh, those banks over there. Oh, they look sharp over there. Ow. Oh, that's at my bottom. That's my bottom. Oh, ow. Oh. Those banks are sharp. These rocks hurt. Ow. Oh. Did I die? And where am I now? Am I dead? Ooh, I think I'll just float. Ooh. Oh, this is soft. Oh. There's the light. There I go. Rocks are the confining stories in your river. They are things you can actually find. They don't define you anymore. You can take those confining stories and turn them into new banks, new wisdom. So our banks are our wisdom. It defines us. May not be the best wisdom sometimes, but it's what we got. It's what we believe in. It's what we are contained within. But those confining stories, those rocks swirl us around. We may think they're real, and that's what is true, like the islands there in the river. But those rocks or those islands we can turn into new banks, new wisdoms, process them into widening and deepening who we are. We're not a very deep river. We got islands in the middle, right? Might be channels, but that's not all of who we are. We want the depth throughout the river. Look, my gosh, it's still flowing out of there. Still more coming. Ha, there's still light shining out of that water, just like you. You got light shining out of you all the time. See you after the break. So we've been exploring your inner river, the River of Ahz, as it can be. It's a development of yourself where you understand you're the water, you're flowing. Can you flow? Do you have banks that give you a good containment, that bring your wisdom to the world? Can you process the rocks that are inevitable in life? As we develop, we're going to widen our banks. So deepen, widen your river. You want depth. That's the strength to handle the rocks that come. You want width because you want to keep growing and seeing things with a wider perspective. Developing new banks, new wisdoms. Shifting how those banks are experienced by you. Some things will never go past, but our experience of them can be more smooth and flowing and enlivening. Don't have to be jagged, difficult parts flowing and hurting us as we just live our life. We can turn those jagged pieces, break them off, turn it into a smoothness, experience ourselves as a whole flowing being. So in the River of Ahz series of Aliveness Now, we'll be coming out to the love springs to clear the rocks, to transform them into wisdom, to create flow and currents in our rivers. This is our experiential segment. Today we'll work some of the rocks like we talked about over at Pantalica and different places. So what are the rocks again? They're the stuff in the river that keeps it from flowing full and wild and strong. It's what your water, who you are, swirls around. It's kind of like a rock in your shoe. It's going to bug you. If you wonder where the rocks are in your life, in your river right now, the ones that are ready are stemming from what bugs you in life. So where's the rub in your life? What's bothering your flow? There you're going to find some stories you can turn into wisdom. So we'll work with a few. Write in your comments, whether in the app or on the show, where are the things that are bugging you? So we can bring them into the show and help you and other people clear them, because we're human beings. We have rocks that are similar. There are only so many rocks, but they bug us in different parts of our river. So today, let's start with the heart. When the heart has a rock in the middle here, and I feel curled around it, it'll feel, don't bother me if I hit my microphone, it might go bah. But right here in the heart, if it's slippery, hard, kind of rigid in the back, you feel rigid. This is the part of the heart chakra, the heart love spring. And we are sitting right now in the heart love spring of these waterfalls. That rock, that part is where we let life in. There's an electromagnetic field coming off the heart that helps you understand what's going on around you. So when you walk into that room and they're kissing and you go, oh, you know they're kissing before you hardly even open the door. You sense it. Or they've had an argument, you can sense it. If you don't, you'll go and go, hey, how's it going, everybody? And they're like, come on, we were kissing. But it lets us sense what's going on around us and then alerts the brain to what's going on. When it's closed here, we're not letting anything in. When you don't want to let anything in, it gets tight, protected. When you're free and flowing, it's wide open, letting life in. So the simple story there is, I don't want to let anything in. It's not okay to let anything in right now. So just acknowledging that, wow, yeah, there's been a lot going on, and I haven't wanted to let stuff in. But to remind yourself, a simple clearing here is just reminding yourself, it's okay to let the good stuff in. It's okay to let life start coming into this heart of mine. And you might immediately start feeling it soften, get hot. See, these are experiential metaphors. These chakras, these love springs are experiential. We feel them flow when they're flowing. So let's help them come alive in the relationship between the ethereal and the physical. And then some weeks we'll work with the relationship between chakras, between love springs, to get flow happening. So that's the first step. And often with that, there's tension. Often there's tension out here. If you push in here and it feels like an indentation and it feels tender, then you know it's up for you. There's tension, there's a lack of a relationship in these areas. And so with that area, this area here, not here. I keep hitting my mic, sorry. Tension out here. It's when I have to keep everybody happy. I have to keep them all satisfied. There's a belief in me. I have to keep everybody happy or I won't be loved, or I won't be taken care of. I have to keep them satisfied or I'll get hurt or injured. Something on that line. So with that, again, acknowledgement, empathy, these catalysts help you connect with that one part of you. It's like you put your arm around it. You feel like you have to keep everybody happy. Oh, I know the feeling. That's how I found it. So, love it up. Have empathy. You got to keep everybody happy, huh? Oh, and then you can say, well, you know, everybody's a lot of people. And they're people. So you can't keep them happy. They're people. We aren't meant to be happy all the time. We can't even keep ourselves happy. So that empathy, like, oh, I have to keep everybody happy. Oh, really? It's never going to be fulfilled. An unfulfillable commitment right there, a drain. We don't need a drain. We want to have life flow through there. So in this moment, I don't need to keep anybody happy. In fact, I could never keep someone happy. This upper heart has to do with happiness and fulfillment and satisfaction. So wait, I could be fulfilling when I can be satisfying. I can be there for people when I can be and choose to be. It's nothing about keeping them anywhere. You can't keep someone somewhere. They're alive, they're changing. Just letting go, having empathy. Wow, I know the feeling of trying to keep someone happy. Wow, yeah, I know the feeling. Let's all around the world here watching this harmonize with that. That is the feeling people have. We have to keep people happy. Oh, it's not possible though. It's just not possible. So as you can let go and say, wait, that isn't true. That starts shifting the story. Maybe it's a rule you've had. The rule, I have to keep people happy. It's not a good rule. You let the rule keeper know it's not the rule anymore. Maybe there's a time you got to keep someone happy to be safe. And you'll know it. So you have the wisdom, you'll know when. So you don't need the rule right now. Maybe it's more, I can't let in that I don't have to keep them happy. That's more of a physical thing. I can't let it in. I can't let anybody see that I'm not trying to keep them happy. But acknowledgement, empathy. Choose to feel it with yourself. Let this then move. So moving the center, moving your chest. Take a couple deep breaths. Let this chest come open. And one more. Think of the outer heart chakra goes down the arms. That's why we hug with our arms. This is part of the heart chakra. But the part of your arm that's always hugging yourself, if it's tight and tender, there's an acupuncture point there, a little chakra, little relationship. And so if it's tender in there, then you're having a hard time being okay with hugging yourself. It's always right there. But if it's tense, it's kind of keeping yourself away from being able to love that human being you are. So just let it honor that feeling that, oh no, it's not okay to hug myself, and breathe and just kind of love it up. Oh, maybe move your arms like this. You're kind of rotating your arms, moving them up and down, breathing so you can feel your breath kind of expand out into your arms. Woo! I just felt it go down my arms. And just a strength starting to come across my chest. So you're working with the inner part first. Then we come out, this upper chest. So no, it's okay to be there for people, but you don't have to keep them happy. And yet it's okay also to hug, especially yourself. You can love up yourself. Wow. Rewatch this section as you need to connect with that, to move with it. If you're listening to this on audio, see if you can find a video of it so you can find and make sure you see where I'm pointing. I'll try to remember to describe it more fully. But move your body, stretch your chest, rotate your arms to feel energy move down the upper arms, the inside of the upper arms. So we're talking about the heart chakra goes down the inside of the arms, especially around the upper arm, the inside the arm that rests against your side when you're seated or standing. That's the area we're talking about the layer at the end, because that's the part that may have some tension in it, some tenderness, the inside of the arm that rests against you, in the middle of it. And now, with that movement and that breath, the stories are clearing, the rocks are shifting, starting to be some flow. I feel the flow in my chest and my arms. Feels good. All right, see you next week, right here in the Love Springs.
So, wow, oh my gosh, look at that, look at that. Huh. So remember, not just compassion, empathy, that's great, but some celebration, empathy. If they're happy, can you be happy with them for a while at least, you know? I mean, if you're not happy all the time, that's okay, you're not supposed to be. But if your partner comes back happy and whistling, can you be happy, whistle with them for a little bit? Just a bit. Oh, it feels so good to them. And if you're happy, can they be happy with you? You know how it feels, you know. You got something to celebrate, and they go, yeah, wow, good. It just doesn't feel good if they go, yeah. Bah! But, you know, there's times you need compassion, empathy. You're feeling sad, and you know, they come and they're with you. Are you with them? It's so cool. Empathy creates a lot of great stuff. You know, light, all the water, just that that physical and ethereal part of you just comes together and is there for each other. Solid. That's it. That's why they say a good, solid relationship. That's part of this. Yeah. Cool. Ah.
And it's still shining. Look at that. Still shining. Oh, look at all that light coming out of that water. Ha-ha. Oh, look at all that light. Yeah, it's still shining. Oh yeah, while I got you here, in my app, in the Love Springs app, there are explorations of each Love Spring. There's more writings about the Love Springs. There's ways of looking and doing exercises with them. With another, you can connect your chakras up with your cat if you want. But there's some explanations there. So join the Love Springs app. Enter into the courses that are going on. You're going to learn a lot more about the Love Springs, how you can help them relate, and how they relate to each other. We'll be going deeper and deeper into this, because as hopefully you felt today, you can bring some peace and ease into your life, into your body, and help yourself flow. I'm Dr. David. This is Aliveness Now. See you next time. Create aliveness within yourself and in your relationships. Join me every second and fourth Monday at noon Pacific on Transformation Talk TV. Download Love Springs app. It's a companion journey to deepen your experience. Visit createaliveness.com to find out about my Catalyst Games, Aliveness events, and retreats. I am Dr. David, and you have been listening to Aliveness Now.